I am Reed, just a normal 27-year-old guy talking about building wealth and getting your life together in your 20s. I used to spend hours online looking at what other people were doing. I mean, we all do it, right? There are so many voices out there telling you what you should be doing, what you are missing out on, and sometimes it feels like the internet has this whole script written for you about why you are not where you want to be. It is a strange kind of pressure, constantly comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else. Highlight reel, I want to talk about 6 of these narratives. These subtle messages that I think can really hold us back. These aren't always explicit lies, but more like convenient distortions that keep us from taking action. The first one, and it is a big one, is that you need a huge amount of money to even start investing. I remember thinking I needed thousands, maybe tens of thousands before I could even look at the stock market. It felt like this exclusive club where the entry fee was just too high for someone like me. I thought I'll just wait until I have a significant chunk saved up, and that waiting period, it just kept getting longer. I see these posts about people making huge returns on massive portfolios, and it made my small savings feel insignificant. It created this mental barrier, this idea that I wasn't ready to play in the big leagues, but the truth, the incredibly boring and effective truth, is that you can start with very little, even $50, even $25. Consistently invested can make a difference over time. It is not about the initial grand sum. It is about the habit, the discipline, the consistent contribution. It is about letting compound interest, that eighth wonder of the world, as some call it, work its magic. Starting small means you are building a muscle. You are learning the ropes. You are getting comfortable with the process. And that comfort, that familiarity is invaluable, far more than waiting for some mythical large sum. Think about it. If you start with $100 today and contribute just $20 each week over 10 years, assuming a modest 7% annual return, you have over $16,000. That might not sound like $1,000,000, but it is $16,000 you likely wouldn't have otherwise. And more importantly, you built the habit, you gained the experience, and you seen the power of consistency. It is about planting those seeds, even tiny ones, and giving them time to grow. Don't let the internet's portrayal of instant wealth deter you from the steady, quiet work of building it. Lie number 2. You need to be a financial genius, an expert to understand investing. This one is particularly insidious because it preys on our insecurities. The internet is full of jargon, complex charts, and gurus. Promising insider secrets, it makes you feel like if you don't understand options trading or complex algorithms, you are doomed. I distinctly remember feeling overwhelmed, thinking I had to spend years studying finance. I even bought books that felt like they were written in a foreign language, only to give up after a few chapters. I read comment sections where people debated technical indicators and macroeconomic forecasts, and I think, how am I ever going to catch up? I don't even know what half of these words mean. It felt like there was a secret language of money, and I was privy to it. But most successful long-term investors are not financial rocket scientists. They understand basic principles like diversification, dollar cost averaging, and investing in broad market index funds. It is not about predicting the next big thing. It is about owning a piece of the entire economy. It is about embracing the boring strategy, the one that dozens make for exciting YouTube shorts. The beauty of it is that the simplest strategies are often the most effective. You don't need to be brilliant. You just need to be patient and consistent. Think of someone like Warren Buffett, arguably one of the greatest investors of all time. His core philosophy is deceptively simple: buy wonderful companies at fair prices and hold them for a long time. He is not day trading. He is not chasing fads. He is investing in businesses he understands, and he is letting time and compounding do the heavy lifting. You can replicate this principle by investing in low-cost index funds. These funds give you exposure to hundreds, sometimes thousands of companies, so you are not betting on one horse. You are betting on the entire stable. It requires minimal ongoing management, minimal research, just consistent contributions, and it frees you up to focus on other things like your career, your relationships, your hobbies. You don't need a finance degree to understand that. You just need a bit of common sense and a lot of patience. Lie number 3, you need to follow every market trend, every hot stock tip to get rich. The internet is a constant fire hose of information, and it is easy to get caught up in the hype cycle. One day it is meme stocks, the next it is crypto, then it is some obscure commodity. Everyone is talking about the next big thing, and you feel this intense fear of missing out. I used to chase these trends, jumping from one opportunity to another. And guess what? I almost always bought high and sold low. I see a stock soaring, jump in because everyone else was, and then watch it crash. Then I panic sell, only to see it recover months later when I was already out. It is a classic rookie mistake, and the internet amplifies it 1,000-fold. It creates this illusion that there are constantly these can-miss opportunities. And if you are not quick enough, if you are not constantly glued to the news, you'll be left behind. But the truth is, very few people get rich quickly and sustainably by chasing trends. Most people who try end up losing money, or at best, breaking even after a lot of stress. Wealth is built slowly, deliberately through consistent investment in sound assets. It is about having a plan and sticking to it, not reacting to every headline, It is about understanding that market fluctuations are normal and not a call to action for you to panic sell or buy wildly. This is where the boring truth comes in again. Steady wins the race. Consider the average investor who simply invests in a broad market index fund month after month, year after year. They don't try to time the market. They don't try to pick individual stocks. They simply participate in the growth of the global economy. Over decades, this approach has consistently outperformed active traders and fund managers who try to beat the market, because timing the market perfectly is impossible, even for the pros. So instead of trying to be a market prognosticator, focus on being a market participant, embrace the long game, ignore the noise, and trust in the power of sustained effort. Lie number 4, you need to sacrifice everything. Work 80-hour weeks to achieve financial success. There is this narrative online that you have to be a hustle culture warrior, burning the candle at both ends. Sleep is for the weak. Leisure is a luxury you can afford. It makes you feel guilty for wanting a balanced life, for enjoying your weekends. I remember periods where I truly believed this, thinking if I was working every waking moment, I was failing, I was constantly tired, stressed, and honestly, not even that productive. Because of the burnout, I see posts about people waking up at 4 a.m. to grind before their day job, and I think, am I not dedicated enough? Am I not willing to sacrifice what it takes? This kind of thinking can lead to a really unhealthy relationship with work and money. While hard work is undoubtedly important, obsessive overwork can be counterproductive. It can lead to burnout, poor decision making, and a general decline in your well-being. Financial success should enhance your life, not consume it entirely. The goal is to build a life you don't need a vacation from, not to work yourself into an early grave. It is about smart work, effective strategies, and making your money work for you. It is about finding that sweet spot where you are productive but also sustainable. Remember, money is a tool, not the master, and your time and health are finite resources. Sustainable progress almost always beats short, intense bursts of effort, followed by collapse. Think about athletes training for a marathon. They don't sprint all day every day. They have a structured plan with periods of intense training, but also rest and recovery. Your financial journey is similar. It is a marathon, not a sprint. You need to build habits that you can maintain for decades, not just weeks. So instead of chasing the latest hustle trend, focus on creating a life where you can consistently show up, where you can make smart decisions, and where you have the energy to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Lie number 5, debt is always bad, and you should never take it on. This one is a little more nuanced, but the internet often paints all debt with the same brush. It creates this intense fear around any form of borrowing, and yes, high-interest consumer debt, like credit card debt, is absolutely something to avoid like the plague. I've seen friends get caught in that cycle, and it is incredibly difficult to break free. The interest rates on credit cards can be 20% or even higher. It is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You are constantly fighting against a massive drain. But not all debt is created equal, and some forms of debt can actually be incredibly useful. Think about a mortgage for a house that appreciates in value, or a student loan for an education that increases your earning potential. These are often considered good debt because they are investments that can yield future returns. For example, a low-interest mortgage allows you to buy an asset, a home that typically grows in value over time. You are using someone else's money to acquire something that can build your equity and wealth. Similarly, a student loan, if used wisely for a valuable degree, can significantly increase your lifetime earning potential. The key is to understand the difference between productive debt and destructive debt. It is about using leverage wisely, not about avoiding all borrowing at all costs. You need to be intentional, understand the interest rates, and ensure the debt serves a purpose that aligns with your financial goals. It is a tool like any other, and its utility depends entirely on how you wield it. Don't let the blanket statements online about all debt is evil prevent you from making smart financial moves. Educate yourself, understand the terms, and make informed decisions about when and how to use debt. Lie number 6, you are too old, or too young, or it is too late, or it is too early to start building wealth. This is the ultimate procrastination lie, the one that keeps you from ever even trying. The internet is full of stories of 20-year-old millionaires or people who made it by 30, and then there are the cautionary tales of people who started too late, never caught up. It creates this arbitrary timeline, this feeling that there is a perfect age to begin. I used to think, oh, I should have started investing when I was 18, or maybe I am already behind. I see people flaunting their early retirements and feel this surge of anxiety. Like I missed some magical window of opportunity, and now I was doomed to play catch up forever. But the truth is, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. It doesn't matter if you are 20 or 40 or 60, every day you delay is a day you miss out on compounding. Even if you start later in life, say at 40, with consistent contributions, you can still build substantial wealth. The power of compounding is so immense that even a decade of consistent investing can make a huge difference. Conversely, if you are very young, say 18, it is easy to think you have all the time in the world, and while you do have a massive advantage, complacency can be just as damaging. I know I felt like I had forever when I was 18, and I wasted a lot of those early compounding years. The boring truth is that consistency and time are your greatest allies. Regardless of your starting point, it is never too late to start making smart financial decisions, and it is never too early to cultivate good habits. Every small step you take today, no matter your age, builds momentum for your future. Don T. Let the Internet. Manufactured timelines dictate your actions. Your journey is your own, and the most important thing is to simply begin. So, what is the takeaway from all of this? It is about discernment. It is about understanding that the internet is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or ill. It can inform, inspire, and connect, but it can also mislead, discourage, and distract. The power lies in how you choose to engage with it. Don't let the noise, the sensationalism, or the carefully curated narratives define your financial journey. Focus on the fundamentals, embrace the boring truth of consistent effort and long-term thinking. Build your own path at your own pace with the principles that truly work. It is not about being the next overnight success. It is about slowly, deliberately building a life of financial security and freedom. It is about understanding that real wealth is built brick by brick, not by winning the lottery. It is about making small, consistent, smart choices over a long period of time. And it is about ignoring the distractions and the false narratives that try to pull you off course. Remember, the internet wants your attention, and sometimes the best way to get it is to make you feel inadequate. But you are not inadequate. You are capable of building the financial future you desire. You just need to be armed with the right perspective and a healthy dose of skepticism. So next time you are scrolling and you feel that familiar pang of doubt or fear, remember these 6 lies, question the narrative, and remind yourself of the simple, undeniable truths of wealth building. And that, my friends, is a journey worth taking.